Welcome to Toastmasters Bay to Bay, where we serve members from San Francisco to Monterey. Toastmasters has a very simple goal: to help ordinary people like you and me to become competent and comfortable in front of an audience. As Darren LaCroix, 2001 world champion of public speaking, says, the secret is very simple. 6 words: stage time, stage time, stage time. We will kick off the show with the Toastmaster equivalent of bungee jumping, impromptu speaking, also known as table topics. And to lead us through table topics today will be my co-host, Mario Herger. Mario has been a member of SAP Toastmasters for the last 5 years and has played many leadership roles. Here is Mario.
Thank you, Gopi. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. The Toastmaster Table Topics segment is one where Table Topics Master, that's me, is asking a question, making a statement, giving a comment, and inviting a volunteer to talk 1 to 2 minutes impromptu about that. Means our volunteers today are not prepared for that, what I'm gonna ask them. Because of that responsibility, this role is normally given to somebody, a member who is experienced, who has a lot of wit, creative energy, is innovative. Unfortunately, this person didn't have time today. That's why I'm here. Let me set the stage. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences has recently announced the nominees for the 82nd Annual Academy Awards. And you might have heard that this year the Academy made some changes. They increased, for example, the number of nominees for Best Picture from 5 to 10. Little known is that there were 4 new categories introduced of some things that were never really appreciated. And we are going to award today those categories. You remember, perhaps in the movies, when you see them, you have the 2 actors speaking in front of the camera, and in the background the guy is walking by, doing as if it just happened to be here. That's the so-called Best Actor in a Background role. And we will give this award today. We open the envelope. And the winner for Best Actress in a Background role is Oksana Walton. Let's welcome her.
I'm going to take it to bed with me. Thank you, Mario. Mr. Table Topic Master, Mr. Toastmaster, dear guest, dear member of the audience. This is really, truly undeserved. As you can imagine, I'm really used to be a lead. For this particular project, I accepted a rare responsibility. I passed many projects in the past. My agent really convinced me to do that. I accepted a responsibility to be a background, just because it was challenging. It tested my range as a person, as a mother, as an actress. I enjoyed it tremendously. In case you didn't notice me in the background, I think I was a C. I think I was blue. I think I had a lot of range. I think I had waves. I think I had sounds. But the depth that it really took to perform this role was absolutely astonishing. And I really have to thank everybody who worked with me. The survivors of the Hurricane Sarah Palin. They really presented me with the depth and an analogy that I could not have gotten being an unexperienced background player. All the winners of the Super Bowl chili cook-offs, those people have guts. And lastly, I really want to thank the uninsured Californians. We have you. We think about you. All the backgrounds, all the oceans, all the motions are here for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Oksana. Our winner. we all love crime movies, detective stories, CSI, all this stuff. And who is the most important person there? It's not a detective. No, it's not. It's not the guy who killed the guy. It's the guy who was killed, the victim. And he never gets mentioned. He never. So the best actor in a victim role goes to Ed Ballocating.
I'd like to thank the Academy, Mr. Table Topics Master, and audience members for this award. I originally didn't want to take this role, but director Alejandra Martinez convinced me, and she did it very cunningly. We had just run a half marathon in San Francisco that day, and we were at the Beach Chalet, where I love the root beer floats. And she said to me, how would you love to spend another 6 months in San Francisco, where I grew up? So she knew it tugged at my heartstrings, and I decided to take the role. Unregrettably, I had a fantastic time. And it's not me who should really be up here, but the whole cast and crew of killing me softly. I think that I really am not as deserving of this victim award as Andrew Joshua, because I think he did a phenomenal job when he's tossed and turned in the gangster movie, and he finally died after 5 minutes of tossing and turning. I mean, it was better than a CSI show. And finally, I'd like to thank Athena Marie, who actually played an instrumental role. She actually works at a crime scene lab, and she taught me the best way to die. And believe it or not, it is a lot harder than you think to just sit there and then keel over and wait until the best actors and actresses finish their role. So I'd also like to thank Tony de Guzman, Alicia de Guzman, Sophia Ballocating, Samuel Ballocating, Alina Ventura, and the rest of my family and crew that worked on this project. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Evan. Welcome. Congratulations.
Thanks.
The Academy is aware that some of the movies are not fulfilling the higher standards that the audience expects. Basically, these movies are boring. Not all of them, because sometimes it happens that an unforeseen actor suddenly enters the stage. You see the actors talking, you fall asleep, half asleep, and then you suddenly hear this buzz. Bzzz. A fly flies over the screen, sits in the middle of the face, and makes the movie entertainable. The next award is the best annoying screen fly. And this award goes to Liu.
Thank you so much, Mario. It's such an honor to accept this award. Who would thought of that my work one day would actually be recognized as the most boring fly onto the screen? Well, we all know that sometimes producers do have to make that kind of movie because it's low budget and we make money that way. But just to entertain the audience once in a while, I do need to fly out and then surprise everybody. It's kind of like that very famous musical piece, I think was by Bach or whoever, that surprised everybody when people fall asleep. So I'm glad the Academy finally recognized my ability to do such thing and surprise you all with such, even though it's not very interesting, but definitely important role for this movie. Thank you, the Academy, and thank you, Mario.
Thank you, congratulations. The next one, and the last one, is what would be the movie industry without the most loyal fans? We have here one fan in our room who watched Avatar 43 times, and she gets the best fan award today, and this is Usha Krishnamurti.
Thank you so much, Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and the Academy. I really did watch Avatar 43 times because I thought it was such a unique concept, and I thought the movie had a very deep underlying message. And I really enjoyed the way the 3D, watching it with those glasses. And I also had a great family who came with me to watch the movie. So I think I enjoyed it very much. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. That were the 82nd Academy Awards. We have new winners. Very proud of you. Some of you people, please, now can take out the Kleenex, wipe your tears coming out of joy or some of them envy. To that, we have now a 3-minute segment going over to tape-in featuring the Redwood City Orators.
I'm a member of Redwood City Orators, and we meet at 7 a.m. on Friday mornings.
Well, our club does have a theme, and it's called Dare to Speak at 7 a.m. So we dare people to come and speak at 7 a.m.
And the fact that we meet at 7 a.m. in the morning is, for me, a really helpful thing because it means that it never conflicts with my day.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Welcome to our meeting this morning.
Well, there are many different club cultures, and before I decided on taking up Redwood City Orators, I had actually visited several other clubs to see how their culture fit in with me, whether it was the time, the location, the group of people, the type of camaraderie that they had. That was important for me.
This is a community club as opposed to a business club, so therefore the topics are much broader.
Sarah Palin recently finished her book, and she entitled it Going Rogue, An American Life. Now, why do you suppose she chose that particular title for her book?
I love this. It's like family here.
Well, I certainly think that we are free to choose topics that might be considered sensitive in other environments. But because we know each other well, we feel free to express those kinds of things without concern about criticism.
We also thought that the world only was around for 4,000, 6,000 years, not long at all, and it was created for us.
Our second speaker this morning is David Hammond. And this is a non-manual speech, David?
As is the rule of our club, if you do have a non-manual speech, it is up to the evaluator to decide what you're going to be meeting as an objective. I got fed up one time with people who were just doing non-manual speeches. So I decided at the last minute, when I was an evaluator for somebody, I thought, okay. And so I stood up and I said, well, so-and-so is going to be giving a speech today, and I'm their evaluator, and these are their objectives. And before I knew it, everybody else who had to evaluate a non-manual speech started following what I had already decided to do. So it's become a club tradition. And what that has done is actually brought people back into using manual speeches.
I was dating a lady and she was a member, and we were going out together, and she said, I'm going to Toastmasters and you're coming. I didn't have much choice in that.
Well, I had decided finally to start my business again and realized that I needed to, A, have an outlet that was helping me focus on presenting my business, to improve my presentations, and then also to keep me busy. So I decided, well, let's try Toastmasters.
My wife, Carmel, had been with the club for about a year, and she suggested that I join, and it seemed like a good idea, and so I just went ahead and joined Toastmasters at that point, and I have never looked back. I really, really enjoyed this experience.
Congratulations for the best answer to that question of it.
By the way, I did marry her, and she's now my wife.
Welcome back. That segment should have given you an idea why people join Toastmasters. Next, we'll segue into the heart of any Toastmasters meeting, a prepared speech. And our distinguished speaker for today is Mark Stiving. Mark has been a Toastmaster for the last 2 years. He has a PhD in marketing, is an expert in pricing, and as we are about to find out, considers himself a California guy. Here is Mark Stiving, California guy.
I love California. We live in the best state in the nation. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and all you native Californians out there. Unfortunately, I was born in Ohio. But my life took a turn for the better around 1981. I saw the movie For Your Eyes Only. You may remember it. It was a James Bond movie. There was this gorgeous woman, long brown hair down to her waist. They were scuba diving, her and James, in this beautiful crystal clear water. Oh, it was the Greek ruins. The next day, I signed up for scuba lessons. About a year later, my company sent me to California for the very first time as an adult, and I got the chance to scuba dive in Monterey. It was wonderful. I got to see the little fish there, real live, colorful fish. I got to touch the starfish. I swam in the kelp beds. This is heaven. A couple years later, my company decided to transfer me into sales. There were 2 territories open. I could go to Pennsylvania or California. Pennsylvania had a good territory, a lot of customers, a very good manager. This would be good for my career. California had, well, California. I remember the day I moved here. I landed at SFO Airport, rented a car, and I'm driving down 101. I look out the right-hand window, and right there is a 1965 Mustang convertible with a surfboard sticking out the back. I was home. For the next couple years, I spent weekends scuba diving as much as I possibly could. I just loved this place. I worked my way up the ranks. I worked my way up to where I was a dive master and assisting people teaching scuba. I finally decided I want to become a scuba instructor. I signed up at Wallen Dive Center. They had a scuba class there. I walked in that first night and there were probably 10 students there. 9 of them knew each other. I didn't know a soul. But there was this one woman there. Oh my goodness, she was gorgeous. She had hair down to her waist. She was confident. She dressed professionally. She carried herself so well. Oh, her name was Carol, and she was going to become my wife. Now, luckily, the instructor that night had us all introduce ourselves. He felt sorry for me. And these are the first words my wife ever heard me say. Hi, my name's Mark. I'm a native Californian. Now, I was born in Ohio, but I know I'm a native Californian because I remember the day I popped out of the womb. I took off my sunglasses, looked around the room, and said, "Bitchin', dude." Now, I know you're thinking, how romantic. But the romance doesn't end there. Several weeks later, Carol and I had the opportunity to assist with a class at Monastery Beach. Now, if you scuba dive around here, you'll know Monastery Beach. When the ocean's just a little bit riled up, the waves come crashing in as hard as you can imagine. You can feel the waves when you're standing on the shore. What a beach. That day, the ocean was a little riled up. So there were Carol and I standing in the surf zone. We didn't have on our tanks or our fins, but we were talking all these students through how to get through the surf zone. And the waves would come knock them over. And we'd pick them up and help them get out into the ocean. And after the last one was in the ocean, we quickly put on our own tanks and our own fins and swam out. And the ocean, it was going up and down and up and down. Did I mention I get seasick? The ocean was going up and down. Luckily, the instructor said, "Let's descend now." Once we got underwater, my stomach felt much better. Oh, it always works out well that way. We had a beautiful dive. We get back up to the surface, and the ocean's going up and down and up and down. And well, how do you put this politely? I fed the fish. Right there in front of this gorgeous woman. Well, Carol and I, we swam back to shore quickly. we took off our tanks, we took off our fins, and we helped all those students get back in just the way we helped them get out. And when the last student gets in, Carol walks up the beach, she leans over, and she fed the sand crabs. This was true love. California has given me more fun, more excitement, more adrenaline than any Ohio boy could ever have imagined. It's given me the true love of my life. I may have been born in Ohio, but I am a native Californian. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mark. There's no doubt in my mind that you are a California guy. Now, Mark lists among his hobbies adventure sports, scuba diving, obviously, mountain biking, hang gliding, whitewater kayaking, and get this, public speaking. Mark, how do you get your rush through public speaking?
Great question, Gopi. So first off, every one of those sports, it takes this amount of guts to go do it. You just have to say to yourself, I'm going to go do this today. And one of the things I learned early on is that there's a thing called actual risk versus perceived risk. And as long as you keep your actual risk low and you keep your perceived risk just a little bit above your actual risk, you get this really cool adrenaline rush. It feels awesome when you get done. And the neat thing about Toastmasters is there really is no actual risk, but the perceived risk is huge.
Thank you, Mark, California guy. At Toastmasters, every time you do a speech, you get thoughtful feedbacks to help you improve. And to give thoughtful feedback to Mark, we have Wada. Wada has been a member of Toastmasters for 10 years, and he likes it so much that he's a member of 1, 2, 3 clubs. Please help me welcome to give feedback to Mark Stiving, Wada.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, honorable guests, you are here for a treat. What is the treat? What that makes you in your life? Why you need to be a Toastmaster? Particularly today, it's my pleasure to evaluate Mark Stiving. I see the Mark doing a lot of different steps. He is in different clubs. I seen him growing, helping the clubs to grow. Mark, you stood up for everything. Today in your speech, you put in as a title, Californian. First I thought, he said Californian, native Californian. Then I thought he's going to give this step, 1, 2, 3. But in your evaluation, I thought to talk about what you did good and what you need to improve, what is good for you. These are the important things of the evaluation back to the speaker. He put in an effort to educate all the people. Like what you did good. Like for instance, you came in here, you exposed yourself all to the audience. I'm a native Californian. Oh, you expressed yourself. Then you showed all the gestures what you learned, how to speak up. Those are the important things. Without gestures, there is no speech. You showed all the gestures. And more appropriately, there is no doubt about it. But the thing is, when you show up and your face shows up, see, eye contact is also very important. People can see they walk with you and they follow you. They are not just listening, they are paying attention to your speech. Paying attention to the speech is a wonderful speaker's capacity. That you did wonderful today. Let me make a couple improvements for you. When you said waves, up, down, when you say up, you got to say up. Down, you got to say down. Your voice also should go up and down. Thereby, you can really see people say, when you are up, people can feel it. When you are down, they can feel it. The abbreviations of your language with your hand gestures makes a difference for the people. You did a wonderful job. But generally, when people speak, they talk in 3 languages, like 3 keys. What are 3 keys? They are going to tell the audience what they are going to say. Then next step is they say this is what I said I'm going to say. When I said, hey, remember what I said I told you? That's what I told you. So it's a 3-step. Why 3 steps? People remember you in 3 ways strongly. I welcome you again, Mr. Mark Stiving. Make it better and make the other people understand Toastmaster is the way to communicate to the people. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Wada. Thank you for tuning into the show tonight. I hope you liked it. We're glad you could join us. And if you would like to improve your communication skills, please consider joining a Toastmaster club or at least visiting a club near you. And to find the nearest club, please point your browsers to www.d4tm.org. Again, that address is www.d4tm.org, and you will be in the company of 250,000 people who have decided to join Toastmasters clubs in 100+ countries and are members of over 12,000 clubs. And each one of them has broken through the fear of being willing to stand up in front of an audience, being a little vulnerable, and yet wanting to come back every single Wednesday or Thursday or whatever day they meet to practice the public speaking skills, get feedback, and constantly improve. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you back on the show again. Great job.
Great job, Gopi.